What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, and I got on my nerd glasses because whenever you hear somebody say something real stupid, it makes me seem like I'm really, really smart. See, and when you put glasses on, automatically that means you most likely are about 20 or 30 points above everybody else's IQ. I think that's what glasses do. It's somewhere written. Maybe it's in the Geneva Convention, somewhere in the Constitution about glasses making you smarter. But this is how I feel when I listen to people like you know who. Whining Juan Williams. Juan Williams make me feel like Albert Einstein. He makes me feel like Stephen Hawking. He makes me feel like Galileo. He makes me feel like I'm not even of this earth, like I'm an alien. Like the things that he say make me feel like he's a lower life form with lack of intelligence and understanding. Now, surely, Juan's not completely an idiot. He knows what he's saying, but I just can't understand. What would motivate this man to say the things that he does? Let's listen in and see what Juan had to say on the 5 today. Whining Juan Williams.
So, listen, this has to be fixed, and it has to be fixed soon, because not only do the people on the northern side of the border dislike it, the people in Tijuana hate it. It's a huge crisis. And for some reason, all the people that are American citizens, the Border Patrol agents that are our fellow patriots by the left, yet the people from Central America throwing rocks at their heads, they're the victims. They're the heroes. And it's completely backwards, because this president believes in America first, and the left believes in blame America first. It's an underdog mentality. They're uncomfortable with being the world's superpower. So whenever an underdog or a third world country or anybody not as powerful as America has any sort of assault on this country, the immediate thought is, what did we do to provoke this? Why are we to blame? How can we, accept this assault in a polite way? Because we're so powerful, we can just take it on the chin all the time. And that's the wrong way to think about it. And that mentality has really infected the thought process of many people on the left that are okay with what's going on at the border. And I just think it's wrong.
I'm not sure if anyone...
Now, see, before I get physical with Juan, Jesse just gave a very practical, logical observation. First things first. Let's use some deductive reasoning. We're America, a sovereign nation. We have borders. President Trump looked at the situation, told these people who said, we're coming to your border and we're coming in. He said, no, don't do that. See, stop, because we're not going to let you in. We're a sovereign nation. These people said, forget what you have to say, because somebody encouraged us that your words don't mean what they mean. They came all the way here. They get to our border. We tell them to wait over there. But they decide, no, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bum rush America, which, of course, according to everybody on the left, they're not even real people anyway. This is an imaginary, caravan or something like that. And they're definitely not invaders. No, not at all. These are gentle, peaceful woodland creatures that just simply are looking for a better life, and they're desperate. That's what the left is saying. So Jesse makes his observation, and he says, you know what? This is wrong, because we have law-abiding citizens over here that are doing their job to protect the nation. We have a president that is doing his job to protect our borders and our sovereignty. And yet, instead of saying, thank you for looking out for me, what do you say? You know what? You guys are horrible to just, spray these people with pepper spray and to keep them from violating our laws. How could you do that? We should just let everybody come in and do whatever they want. Now I'm going to have to take my smart glasses off so I can get real when Juan Williams start to talk, okay? Because I don't want him to mistake what I got to say. I want him to look into my eyes and understand that I mean what I mean. I'm like Popeye when Brutus was on there singing, I mean, you know what I mean. He's me. That's what I mean, okay? So Juan apparently has a different take on the situation. Let's see what Juan has to say about it, ladies and gentlemen. Does Juan stick up for our troops, for our military, our government, our law enforcement, who's simply doing their job? Or do Juan do what every person on the left do? Misplace blame, make excuses for lawlessness. Let's see.
Juan, do you think that the Democrats are worried that they are being perceived as being okay with what's going on south of the border?
I think that what they worry about is how President Trump is trying to structure this as an invasion, as somehow these are people who constitute a threat to American security in some cases, or they're criminals or gang members, as opposed to the reality.
Now, first things first, Juan doesn't even address the question that was asked to him. Do you think that the Democrats worry about their perception, the perception of how they are casually just looking at the situation, which they are? Okay, see, either they're completely silent, or when they do say something, it is not the right thing. Meaning this, they never ride in on the law. They never come in on, this is what the law says, and we're simply just, we're implementing it. All we're doing is enforcing it. Yeah, this is what it's black and white. This is breaking the law. This is not breaking the law. It's always a gray area with them. See, they're not concerned about the perception of how they look at the situation, because you know what? They're not patriotic anyway. See, they're all about encouraging lawlessness, whether it's directly or indirectly. And they use all of these reasons why this sounds fluffy. I mean, these people are desperate. These people are simply looking for a better life. Yeah, therefore, it justifies lawlessness, which is going to get to my point in a second. So Juan starts off by just straight up pivoting. What I think they're more concerned about is the way President Trump is using this, because here he goes. So let's run that back just a little bit.
They are being perceived as being okay with what's going on south of the border?
I think that what they worry about is how President Trump is trying to structure this as an invasion, as somehow these are people who constitute a threat to American security in some cases.
Now, here's the funny part about this, Juan. I believe it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, all we heard from the people on the left and all these commentators talking about, there's no such thing as a caravan. They're not invaders. This isn't an invasion. This is just simply people wandering around aimlessly in the middle of the desert somewhere. They don't have no destination, even though they said they were coming to the United States and they were going to come across our border by any means necessary. But we're not going to take them for their word. Until they get here, we won't believe it, I guess. So I think it was President Trump that said that this is an invasion, and everybody laughed. An invasion. Did you hear him? More of the rhetoric. President Trump's inciting fear. He's using this so he can generate his base. This is a dog whistle. It's a dog. That's all it is. Yeah. And now they're here, and they're doing exactly what President Trump said they would do. Now, why can't Juan just admit that? Why can't Juan just use his own eyeballs and his own ears and his own brain, if there is one in there? Why can't Juan just say, you know what, you're right, because I'm looking at it right on TV, and they're doing exactly what the president said they were going to do. So these weren't just things that the president came off the top of his head, and you know what, I'm just going to make something up. No, he said these things, they happened. It manifested itself. Whining Juan. But let's hear more about what Juan has to say.
Cases, or they're criminals or gang members, as opposed to the reality, which is that they're a desperate bunch of people who are coming and seeking asylum. What we've done is, at the moment, we've funneled them all in to one place, and then we tell them to wait on the other side. And of course, there are long delays in terms of the processes that we were talking about.
Okay, so Juan said that the president is deeming them as violent gang members. Let's look at some of the characteristics of peaceful versus violent. Martin Luther King. When they marched in Birmingham, they locked arms. They just walked quietly, singing nice, peaceful songs. We shall overcome. Well, compared to this mob of people, they decided, let's throw a couple people out in front, women and children, or even if they didn't, the question I have lines up with President Trump's question. Why would you have a kid, your 2 kids, that close to that type of environment anyway? You see the rest of them are rushing to the border, and you see all those police officers up there with uniforms, weapons. Did you think they had water guns? Did you think those helmets and clothes were Halloween costumes? Is that what you thought? So you bring your kids thinking we might be able to slip in while all the chaos is taking place, because surely they're not going to arrest me, and I have 2 kids. These are like get out of jail free cards. So I'm going to go in. What is that? Is that nerve gas? Is that Tear gas? Oh, shoot, kids, let's get out of here. Even though I brought you into a dangerous situation, but I'm going to blame the Trump administration for it. Or should I say, the liberal media. They caught one clip of somebody who put their own children's lives in peril, and yet it's Trump's fault, right? Juan and all of these peaceful, desperate people, decided to just rush our border like it's a football team. They're running down on a kickoff to make a tackle. And we're supposed to sit there and take it, right, Juan? Is that what you're saying, Juan? Yeah, they look like nonviolent people to me. They look like just desperate people, not criminals, even though there's a pattern of their behavior. Even though we saw this pattern start when they came through Mexico, just muscled their way in. Then they get to Tijuana, and the Tijuanians are having problems with them. And then, of course, they do exactly what the president said they would do, try to invade the United States. But no, not according to Juan. The only reason they did that is because they got frustrated. And not to mention, this whole invasion was generated out of desperation. So now desperation justifies lawlessness. So how about this, everybody? All the American citizens who say, man, I ain't got no options but to deal drugs. I got to provide for my family. I'm desperate, okay? I got to do this, man. What you want me to do? You want me to starve? Well, I guess they're justified. Get out of jail. That's their defense. Going to court. You were found guilty for drug trafficking. How do you plead? Not guilty. What do you mean? We caught 17 kilos on you, man. Yeah, but I was in a desperate situation, Your Honor. I had to do what I had to do to survive. Or how about this? Baby, the mortgage due. They're going to repossess our cars. I'm going to go down the street and knock off the bank real quick and be right back. You get caught. Your Honor, hey, man, I was desperate. They was going to take my house. I was going to look bad in front of my wife and kids, man. I had to do what I had to do. I was desperate. Does that justify lawlessness because you're desperate? What about all the Americans that have to follow laws and rules? Whining Juan Williams. And it has nothing to do with us saying, well, I'm desperate, so it should justify my behavior. No, we say, you know what? It might be a messed up situation, but you got choices. Either you reap the consequences of acting out of foolishness in a desperate situation and violating the law, or you ride it out and wait until times get better. Okay? All right? And that's what Juan, I guess, decided that's not what they need to do. And guess what? You know why they decided to do this? Because, see, we made them wait. We made them wait over there in Tijuana. And no, they're not supposed to do that. Yeah, see, they done walked, or should I say, got to ride somehow. 2,000 miles. I mean, took them, 2 months almost to get here, but now they can't wait any longer. Yeah, they're so desperate. We put them in that situation. We backed them into a corner, okay? Yeah, we say, you know what, get your butts out of Honduras and start to walking towards America, and when you get here, we're going to hold you up in Tijuana. Yeah, we're going to make you sit out there and eat whatever gibberish they're giving you and staying out in the sun and sleep on the ground. We made them do that, right, Juan? Is that what we made them do? Yeah, and guess what they did? They got desperate, and look what Juan said.
And so then people get frustrated, as human beings do, especially when they've been through a long journey, apparently about a quarter to more of them with children. And so the children are out of control. Everybody is frustrated and anxious. And then you get situations like this. I think who created this was...
Now, wait. Before I even get to that foolish comment, see, this was the initial comment that made me feel like I was smarter than Juan. Okay, now, you have to understand what Juan is saying here, y'all. Juan is saying, these poor people, they done walked all this time. They got kids just whining. Mama, when we leaving? Are we there yet? Okay, this sounds like every family in America that has kids and have to wait on stuff, okay? All right, so I guess the next time people go to the BMV on a Saturday and everybody had to come on Saturday because they work during the week and the BMV gets off early for some reason, knowing that everybody gets off at 5, but the BMV closes at 4. Now that leaves only Saturday for people to come and try to get this stuff corrected. You get there early in the morning thinking I'm going to beat the traffic. And when you show up, there's already 90 people in front of you. And you got 2 kids. And they're crying and whining, falling all under. And you say, you know what? I'm sick of waiting. I'm frustrated. You put me in a predicament. Now I'm going to have to go ahead and cut all of you people and muscle my way right on up to the front of the line. And I don't want no criticism for it. Okay? Because if you do that, I'm going to chastise you and say, you can't say this to me because you put me in this position by making me wait. Or I don't know about you, but you ever been to Disneyland? You ever been to Cedar Point, Kings Island? I have. You think I like waiting in the line? Juan Williams, huh? Out there hot, switching hips because one leg get tired, your hip, you got to keep moving, and it's hot. And you're looking at the line and it don't seem like it's moving. You're going, okay, I'm going this way. Now I'm about to go this way. Wait a minute. Now I'm about to go. Oh, wait, how many of these? And then you get so mad that you say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start hopping over these, okay? And I'm going to get right up in the front and say, you watch out, man. Watch out. I'm next. Well, sir, you can't cut the line. You're going to have to wait. Wait. Man, you know what? I got desperate. I'm frustrated because you made me wait. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't make people wait, right, Juan? But guess what Juan says? When I think Greg asked him a sensible question, Juan, who's responsible for this? Who did this?
Donald Trump.
He didn't start the caravan.
No, I didn't say that.
You see them all? You see them all? That was. Every time I try to have faith in Whining Juan, and I say, Juan, they have built the case. Juan, there's no way to wiggle out of this one, okay? Juan, if you say what I think you're going to say, I'm going to conclude that you're the dumbest guy on TV. And I don't want to do that, Juan. Because in my heart, I think Juan's a nice guy, but he's just a slave to his party. And he's willing to say stuff to make him look dumb. Just to line up with his ideology, his party, to push the narratives that they hang on to. And Juan, he had an out, y'all. He had a chance to prove that he's not just a slave to the Democratic Party, that he has some intelligence, that he's able to look at a scenario and a situation and say, yeah, that's my party and all, but if I say this, it's going to sound like I'm trying real hard to hang on to this narrative to the point where it makes me look, sound, and appear dumb. But Juan doesn't care, apparently. And guess what? It shows by the laughter that everybody has when he says what he said. What? Did you believe this guy? That's exactly what I did when I was watching the 5 today. And Juan said, well, President Trump's doing it. I said, I couldn't believe it. I was waiting. It was like I was anticipating, like, is Juan going to do it? Is he going to? Oh, Juan, again. He said something stupid all the time.
They're waiting. All immigrants wait.
No. You don't wait like this.
Oh, yes, you do.
Let me just say that previously you had people waiting. So what we've had with Trump, just stop and think about it. You had separation of families at the border.
Obama did that.
No, he didn't do it like this. And secondly, you have things like, go after, close the borders he's now talking about. This is, again, it's absurd. But
how did Trump start the caravan one?
He didn't start. I didn't say he started.
Okay. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't even go on with Juan. I'm going to end it here. But see, listen to what Juan just said. He said that this is President Trump's fault, okay? And they said, well, all immigrants wait. And Juan said, not like this. Since when, Juan? Since when? So you mean to tell me illegal immigrants don't have to wait like this? Yeah, only the legal ones do. Only the legal ones have to wait for years. 1, 2, 3 years. Apply, fill out paperwork, pay money, sit in a line, wait for their number to come up, wait for approval, wait for background checks. But for those that are desperate and impatient and frustrated because America's making them wait to break the law. See, we're saying, you know what? We know you're coming to break the law, but we're going to hold you up a little bit. You can't make me wait to break the law. You know what? Well, who do you think you are? I got a right to come and just run straight across your borders into your country and break the law when I want to. And if you make me wait, that even makes me angrier. Okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get all my buddies and say, hey, y'all, they can't stop us all. Let's do it. Even though President Trump said, don't you do it. We will stop you. What do you think the military was there for? Huh? So you're telling me you can walk 2,000 miles and yet you can't wait for them to sort all this out? Huh? You shouldn't have brought your buns here anyway. But once again, I'm not blaming just the illegal immigrants that did this. You know who I'm blaming? People like Whining Juan Williams. Because see, if I'm one of these immigrants and I'm sitting there watching the 5 and I'm thinking, Jesse just made sense. Man, maybe we've made a crazy decision or choice, and then Greg came with some meaningful, thoughtful words, and the rest of them, they're all making sense. And then here comes Juan with some stupid like that to make me feel like my decision to drag my child or come myself 2,000 miles when the president himself said, "Don't do it, you're not getting in," was a good choice. It's people like Juan. People like people on MSNBC, CBS, NBC, CNN, the New York Times, and all the Democrats who encourage this type of behavior, they give validity to bad and negative behavior. And Whining Juan is at the lead helm. That's what he is. It's a whole cast of monkey shine, and Whining Juan got the lead role in it. Did I say monkey? Am I racing? Am I calling Juan a monkey? No. What is happening is when you hear stuff like this, you go, you know what? That's so ridiculous. Yeah, that's just, it's monkey shine. Monkey, you might as well just be in there. Yeah, that's it. Because it makes no sense, Juan. Boy, I'm sorry, y'all. Whining Juan, he gets me going. You know what? Let me become civilized again to close this video out. And now, I'm back to my civilized self. I'm so sorry you've had the chance to see that side of me. Normally, I'm a little more reserved, but Juan Williams, he just simply grinds my gears. You've been listening to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense, and with Juan, you just simply can't do it. You just can't do it. Anyway, find me on Facebook, on Twitter. Check me out on Wednesdays. Tally-ho. And don't forget to check out Extreme Teas. The link is in the bottom. And don't forget to hit like, share. Also, find me on Facebook, Twitter. And if you want to donate to Kevin in Kevin's Corner, please feel free. There's a link in the bottom. Now, goodbye, America. And goodbye, Whining Juan Williams.